Welcome to my very last presentation. That happens to be on something that I care and love about very deeply, and it is missions. So, today we are going to talk about global missions and local missions. And so, starting off with global missions, I want to begin with defining some things first. First thing being evangelism, which is the spreading of Christianity through preaching or personal witness. Which evangelism is the heart of missions, whether it's global or local. It is what drives us to do missions. And then next, I want to define and differentiate between mission, missions, and being missional. And so, mission is the total response of the whole church in obedience to everything that God has commanded and invited us into. And so, this is all of the church, the response that all of the church should have towards what God has done in our lives. And then, missions is the planting of churches among UPGs through teams. And so, normally, this is cross cultural. Um, and then lastly, missional is involved in mission of God. And this can take place anywhere, at the grocery store, at home with your family, or not just out on the mission field that you're assigned to or have gone to. And then secondly is the priority. And so the priority of global missions is unreached people groups. And so um, an unreached people group is defined as the population having less than 2% of Christians living among the people there, which means they don't have enough Christians to effectively evangelize all of the community there. And so most of the UPGs live in the 1040 window, which stretches from North Africa to Southeast Asia and includes mostly tribal people, Hindus, unreligious, Muslim, and Buddhist. And so these are the people that Global Missions looks to prioritize when focusing on sending people out into the mission field. And then practice, there are a lot of practice when it comes to global missions, but I think first and foremost, the very first practice that people need to focus on is their personal call. And do they feel called to global missions? And do they have peace with it? And then I think after that, they can take the steps to forming a team or looking for a team to be a part of. And so I think it's important when considering and building a team to have an apostolic leader, someone who has vision and passion for reaching the lost. And I think after an apostolic leader, it's important to have an apostolic band and then an apostolic partnership, apostolic administration, and apostolic passion to fuel the global mission. And then moving on to local missions, I want to begin with something that I might be a little bit prejudiced towards, considering I am a Chi Alpha intern this year. But I want to talk about Chi Alpha, which is something that has changed my life and the trajectory of my life very drastically. Chi Alpha on the college campuses is one of the most strategic mission fields. It intersects with people in one of the most pivotal times of their lives where they're making decisions that affect the rest of their lives. And so, making a decision to follow Christ is one of the most important decisions that can be made in such a unique time of someone's life in college. And if you think about it, people come from all over the nations to come to college, get an education in America, and so they have the nations at their fingertips. And as those people from around the world give their lives to Christ and they go back home, they are witnesses to their families there. Um, and so it's an incredible way to uh, transform the university and the marketplace and therefore the world. And so next we have Speed the Light, which I know people personally who Speed the Light has affected and helped in tremendous ways. And so it provides essential transportation for missionaries to be able to go and spread the gospel. And then lastly, we have Boys and Girls Missionary Challenge, which I think is such an incredible thing. I didn't grow up in the Assemblies of God, but learning about Buddy Barrels seems like such an incredible way to get kids involved and seeing the importance of one, their giving, two, missions, and three, the difference they can make even as children. And so That brings me to the end of my presentation. These have thoroughly been an joy to make, and I hope that they have been a pleasure to watch. And thank you so much for your time.